What's up, you guys? Teddy Striker here, and for a while now, I feel like Paulo Costa has been different. He hasn't been the same fighter that he has been since 2019. That's right, 2019, 5 years ago, when he took on Yoel Romero. After that, he fought Adesanya, he fought Vittori, he fought Luke Rockhold, he fought Robert Whitaker, and now he's just fought Sean Strickland. And before he fought Adesanya, he was undefeated. He had 13 wins, 12 finishes. He had 11 wins by KO, one submission, and one decision. So this guy was, he was doing a great job of just beating his opponents, finishing them. The only person he hadn't finished at that point was Yoel Romero, but he did drop him in the first round. He was able to hurt Yoel a couple times, and then he got the unanimous decision victory over him. And in a very tough fight, Yoel Romero did give Paulo Costa his toughest fight of his career. Before that, it was definitely Uriah Hall, because Uriah Hall was clipping him with some jabs, and Paulo he didn't really have an answer for it. He just kind of bullied him. And that was his style. Like, he was very aggressive. He would push his opponents backwards, and he would throw some nasty combinations. He would go to the body. He would go to the head. He would mix it up very well. And also, he had some powerful kicks to just take away his opponent's gas tank. And yeah, he just imposed his will on his opponents. And, he fought Adesanya, and he lost. And ever since, the Yoel Romero fight, he's been 1-4. He's fought only 5 times. He fights typically once a year. This year he's changed it and he's being more active. But yeah, he's used to usually fighting once a year. But he's only gotten one win, and that was against Luke Rockhold. And I feel like he should have been able to finish that version of Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold, he's very, he's been knocked out several times. He's not the most solid and durable fighter. And also, he's coming off a layoff. It's at altitude. You're in your prime. Like, this is, like, everything is in your favor to finish this guy. But whenever he would pressure Luke Rockhold, he would kind of, like, throw one shot at a time. Not like his usual self. Like, before, he would throw, like, a bunch of combinations. Like, he would go after you. But against Luke Rockhold, it was just, like, one shot, one shot, one shot. It seemed like he was trying to conserve his energy. And also, it was at altitude, but Luke Rockhold is, like, way more tired than you are. He's basically, like, he's got one foot out the door. He just needs someone to kick him through that door. But Paulo just wasn't able to do it. And I feel like the reason why he's changed, he's not the same guy that he was back then, is because he lost his confidence, because the UFC pushed him a little bit too soon to the top. There's several fighters in the UFC, like Khamzat Chimaev, Sugar Sean O'Malley. Like, these guys, they're dominating, and like they're beating these guys, like these sort of lower level fighters, in a very dominant fashion, like by first round KO, first round submission, just things like that, right? So then the UFC gets the idea, okay, you're really good. We haven't seen you against contenders yet, but let's just put you to the top of the division. And for sometimes it does work out. Like for Sean O'Malley, it worked out perfectly. He fought Peter Yan. It was a very close fight, but he won. And then he went out there and he knocked out the champion, Aljamain Sterling. Khamzat Chimaev, he went out there. He had a very tough fight with Gilbert Burns, but he was able to beat him. And now he's one win away from getting a title shot. And they tried to do the same thing with Paulo Costa. He went out there, he beat Uriah Hall, and then he immediately went to fight the number 3 guy, Yoel Romero. And he did beat him, which was, great performance. But then he fought Adesanya, and there was like a significant skill gap, and it showed in the fight. Adesanya just, like, he had his easiest fight to date, arguably. And the problem is, like, some of these guys, they're just not ready for that level. They might have some good performances against the top guys, but you want to go through the gauntlet. You want to go through those contenders. You want to take on a Calvin Gastelum, a Jared Cannonier, a Jack Hermanson. Those fighters are going to test you. They're going to show you your holes, your strength, everything, and give you experience in the cage as well. And when he fought Uriah Hall, he fought him in like July of 2018. And then his next fight was against Yoel Romero in August of 2019. So in that time frame, he could have potentially fought 2 contenders, 2 guys that would have given him more experience, got him to level up even more, instead of just fighting once a year. And now he's just been following that trend. Now, obviously, this year is different, but he didn't fight at all in 2023. And, part of his inactivity is due to his injuries, some money problems, and also some hair transplants. And also, another reason why he hasn't been active is because this guy walks around like 230 pounds. He's a massive middleweight. So when you go through those training camps, you got to cut a lot of weight. And you need a lot of time to cut that weight, which is potentially why he hasn't been active as well. But in that case, you should probably move up to the light heavyweight division. But I think that Paulo Costa, his whole career, he's had advantages at middleweight because of his weight and his size, and that's a big part of his game. But it comes at a cost of his cardio, and has he been like kind of holding back because of his conditioning? I don't know, but overall, I think he was just rushed a bit too soon to the title, and that's a part of the reason why he hasn't been as successful as he was. The level of competition just got a bit too high for him. And also, I think that the Adesanya loss played a factor as to why he hasn't been the same since 2019. Losing the way he did against a skinny guy, a guy who he didn't see as a threat, probably had an impact on him. But I did hear an interview where he was saying that he didn't really find that love with MMA. And it just seems like Paulo Costa is
falling in and out of love
with MMA. But now he's been saying that he wants to bring back that killer, that eraser. But I think that with the level of competition that he's going to be taking on, he won't be able to look as dominant as he once did.